Good evening, all. Good evening. Welcome to. Oh, we just got Jack Goodwin coming in. Just 1 second. I'll just add him into the stream as well. There we go. Good evening, Jack. Hi.
Hiya,
Hi.
you all right?
I'm
Hey,
all
Jack,
right.
you all right?
Thanks. Welcome
Hiya.
to an episode of the Blackpool FC show. Jack should like that. We've got a few in the comments, but before it's a special championship edition. Blackpool are just newly promoted back into the championship, so I've got some guests from championship clubs in with us, and they're going to tell us all about what to expect as Blackpool fans when we start the season next season. So I've got in the stream, I've got Dor. Good evening, Dor.
What's going on? What's going on, man?
Dor is Nottingham Forest. We've got Craig, who is a Bournemouth fan. Good evening, Craig.
Evening, Lee. How you doing, mate? Pleased to have you on.
And we got Jack down the bottom corner there. He's where are you from, Jack?
I'm from Preston.
Preston North End, folks.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a few people to say things in the chat, I can imagine. Just say hello to a few people. Got Eugene McGeever in. Good evening, Eugene. We've got Coaster Chalin, Aaron from Doncaster. Hi, Aaron. Doncaster have signed Ben Close from Pompey. Amazing start to the window with one of the League One's best midfielders. That's good for Aaron. Of course, he's up already. Looking forward to next season. Ryan Dunbar is here. He's a Blackpool and Rangers fan. Hello. He's also looking up with Boo already. Flipping heck. Steve Huntley is here. Good evening, Steve, and Turson Talks Football. So, guys, we're going into the championship. It's been a few years since we've been there. It's been 6 years since Blackpool have been in the championship. What's changed? What can we expect? Should we start with Dor? Tell us a little bit about it.
Do we have to? Because we've been in the championship for too long. So I should be the last one, Lee.
Right, okay. So we'll leave Dor to the end because he's sick of the championship.
I'm sick of the championship. Wait. I'm Preston the same as well. Preston, we're both in the championship for too long.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather be in the championship than League One though. So
Yeah.
I'm happy we've not been in any relegation battle.
Yeah, no, they've been doing, Preston, obviously are our, dearest rivals, and we've finally got our derby back because we've been having derbies with Little Fleetwood, and we're a bit sick of those. So, so it's good to have the Preston derby back. Are you excited to have the derby back?
Yeah. No, of course.
Oh, no.
I'm a bit gutted to see you promoted, to be honest.
I can imagine.
But you've come up, and it's going to be very exciting to see how we get on against you next year. I mean, I'm only 20 years old, so I can only remember one Blackpool game, and we still sing about it, the 1-0 victory where Tom Clark scored in the 89th minute in the cup game, and all our fans ran onto the pitch.
All your fans
what was
came
seen as
on
a
the
giant
pitch.
killing. So
I was there. Yes, that was when Larry had gone back. We had Paul Ince managing, and Larry had gone to Preston at the time, hadn't he? And she beat us on that night. I remember, and all the fans were on the pitch. It was a bit tasty that night, if I do remember rightly. It was a little bit tasty that night.
Great memories.
Yeah, for you, shocking for us. Somebody's always saying, "What's a knobber doing on the channel?" Lee, I've got in here, Steve Huntley. Well, we're in the championship. This is a championship thing, and he was kind enough to come on. I'm sure David Scholes will say, "Get him off already." Flipping heck, blimey. It's going to be fun. Try and keep you on. We'll go to Craig. Craig is a Bournemouth fan, and I've never been to Bournemouth. One of the things I was saying to the guys before we came on that Jane likes to go to every single away game, so we will be going all the way to Bournemouth. So what can we expect in Bournemouth, Craig? Is there any good places to go, good bars to go, good things to do in Bournemouth? Obviously, it depends on when the fixture is. If it's a Saturday.
Well, we've got a fantastic beach, and we got miles and miles of it.
Is it sandy like Blackpool? It's a similar sort of beach.
It certainly is, yeah. It's sandy all the way across. You got tons of things to do around here as well. You got beautiful sandbanks as well. So you might see Harry Redknapp around there as well.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Which was a great interview that me and Jack had the pleasure of doing as well very recently.
That's a pretty posh part of it, is it? Around
It
Bournemouth?
is, yeah.
Sandbanks, yeah. It's like the millionaire
Yeah.
sort of row, is it, of Bournemouth? Yeah, I can imagine
It
it's
is.
really nice. Yeah.
But it's an absolutely lovely place. There's loads to do, loads to see. Great night out as well. And it's always very, very busy. Fans love coming down here. And that's one thing that we found was that when we were in the Premier League, when we were in the Championship before, the amount of fans that were coming down here, it's just great. It's great. And it's a shame that people weren't able to experience that last season. But hopefully, fingers crossed, now that everything looks to be going in the right direction, people will be able to come out and enjoy the place again. And, from our perspective, I think being where we are in the world does help us and have that pull. There was an interview that I watched with Steve Fletcher, and one of the things that what would happen is that players would be taken around the Sandbanks Peninsula, have a look at the town before they even sign on the dotted line. So I think that's a great pull. I'm guessing it's a similar sort of thing that Blackpool's got that pull as well.
Yeah, sure, yeah. People look for it as a fixture, because they can make a weekend of it. They can come, they can bring the family, they can leave the missus and kids to go on the pleasure beach, whatever, where they're watching the game, they can take in a show. It's just that sort of entertainment place to come, isn't it? It's something you can't do when you visit.
Going there next season, without doubt.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be up there.
I'm not going Preston though. No way.
It's very drab, Preston. I mean, all they've got is a big giant bus station. That's about it.
That's the easiest place you can get to. It's the easiest place you can get to. We've got a beautiful stadium.
They built the M55 so you could avoid it. You could go around it and completely miss it out. That's the whole point of the M55, to bypass Preston.
You only don't want to play Preston. We're going to be taking 18 points off you all.
Do you reckon?
Oh.
Just fighting talks. Honestly, folks, in the comments, do you think Preston are going to take 18 points off Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, and Blackpool?
Right. This is the thing about Preston, right? We've got a horrible record against Preston, as Jack will know.
I know, you let us down. I was saying beat them last season.
We never beat Preston. We never.
Well, we never beat Ipswich, so but we can beat Preston.
We beat them at their ground.
Yeah, well, Preston beat us. Lucky penalty.
I'll say this: Preston beat us last season, and I thought at that early stage, they were one of the best teams. Yeah, really good.
What happened? Because you were looking at one stage like you could be playoff material, and then you just sort of imploded.
Same old story that the manager wasn't backed. There wasn't enough investment in the team. Contracts weren't sorted out. We lost our best two players in Ben Davis and obviously Ben Pirro to Bournemouth, who all the Cherries fans love now. And then we replaced them, and the other players that we lost, Darnell Fisher too, we replaced them with about 8 or 9 in January. And that's a whole new squad to play with. And it was expected for Alex Neil to come in and not come in, but carry on doing the job that he was doing. And we had a bit of a slump in form, and the results were blamed on him. And he ended up getting the sack. And I mean, the season ended positively with Frankie McAvoy in charge, but it was a bit grim, that sort of after January, because some of the signings we made, I mean, all of the signings were pretty decent, but they weren't gelling as a team. But that's expected for such a new team. So it was disappointing, and I think we've probably missed our chance for a while now to have another crack towards the playoffs, because we'll have to rebuild once again.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a relegation battle for you guys this season. Steve Huntley says that Blackpool East, no chance.
Please taking cheap shots at you already, Jack. Jack, don't take it, Jack. Don't take it.
We have to put this in here. Steve Huntley has actually mentioned Blackpool East. Now, Jack won't know about this, but Jane, my partner, she writes a blog, and the worst train station that she has to go through all the time in the country, in her opinion, is Preston. There's just nothing there. So she has in her blog, she's rebranded it as Blackpool East. and it's having a complete another makeover in her fictitious blogs about traveling around. So she's called it Blackpool East, and because it's Blackpool East, it's obviously full of Blackpool, exciting things. It's a great place to go. There's wonderful like restaurants in there and bars and everything else. It's just it's the best train station in the world as Blackpool East. So that is where the Blackpool East commenters come
so
from.
cold, so cold.
It's awful, isn't it?
Train.
It's horrible. It really is. We have to pass through it all the time, and it needs something, doesn't it? Bombing probably, and as I say, rebranding as Blackpool East. Right. So Eugene McGeever asked the question that's on everybody's lips: what is the best fish and chip shop in Bournemouth and Preston and Nottingham Forest for the Blackpool fans to go to eat? There we go. Where would you recommend on our trips? Best fish and chip shop.
Everyone knows in Nottingham, as Craig knows, because Craig owes me a nice free Hooters. Hooters in Nottingham.
I tell you what, you're never going to let that down, Mr. Dore, are you?
People,
it's happening.
Craig,
tell us a story, Dore.
Basically, I think it was on my podcast, wasn't it, Craig? And he said he loves a Nottingham day. So I said to Craig, when Bournemouth come to Tick Ground next season, we'll go Hooters and he can pay. And then he put it on Twitter, and I said, "Oh, when I come to Nottingham, we're going straight to Hooters." And I said to him, "I only go, Craig, if you pay." And he said, "Yes." So, Craig,
I'm going to do it.
Craig, if you say no, I've clipped the receipt,
he's got the proof.
I've got the proof. And it's not just me; it's my Door and Tour crew as well. So it's them as well.
Can you eat in Hooters?
Oh,
do they have food, or is it just beer? Is it just beer in Hooters, Dore? Do they have food as well?
You can get some chicken wings.
Right, well, there you go, folks. Forget the chippies in Nottingham. The only place for Blackpool fans to go is Hooters, and it's next door to Dore's house. So we can all we can all call on him as well. There's right next door.
Listen, man, if people want to go to my house, it's not free. It's entry as well. So don't even try that, people.
Sean Burns,
he's trying to make profit during this night out, isn't you?
Sean Burns says Blackpool will get licked by Preston, though. He reckons we're going to get stuffed by Preston, so there we go. Davey Skull says, forget getting rid, just put him to the sword. Put him to the sword, they say there is. There's no sympathy.
Is that in direction of me?
Yes, of course it is. All in direction of you.
Sake.
What's he coming on a Blackpool channel? You must be mental. He taught you into coming on here.
Going back to the chippy, though, Lee, I'll tell you what, we have got absolutely tons down here. So we've got Harry Ramsden on the beach. Standard fare there. Yeah. But the one you want to go to is Chez Fred's, which is in a place called Westbourne. It's a little bit further out, but it's where all the Sandbanks locals go to. It was also featured on Harry Redknapp programme as well. So
is this a designer chippy sort of thing?
Yeah, it's quite dear. It's quite dear, but it's nice.
Will Jane be able to get gravy on her Jane has, right, I need to ask all three of you here, but Jane likes gravy on her fish as well as the chips. Now, for me, that's just like, no,
that's a
maybe tartar sauce I can go with, or a bit of curry sauce maybe, but gravy on fish. But she reckons it's slush. But would you get gravy down there at Chez Fred? It's not a place I can
well, you probably could get gravy, but I definitely wouldn't stick it on the fish. I'll tell you one of the weirdest things I've ever tried, and I don't know if this is just a general thing, but when I went up to Reading, which is where I'm originally from as well, they do a beef cheeseburger in batter. I've never seen it anywhere else in my entire life.
Cheeseburger in batter.
Yeah, it's not the healthiest option.
Doesn't sound very healthy. It's a bit like a deep fried Mars bar. Kind of had the same feeling about that as well. It's not the healthiest thing. So Chez Fred, make a note of that. So we've got Hooters and Chez Fred. What about you then, Jack in Preston? Good chippy.
I mean, there's good chippy everywhere. I mean, to be honest, compared to Craig's, it's probably cost about 20 quid for a chippy down there. So
it does.
Up north, it's all right. You can go anywhere and get some chips and get a barn butty or whatever. I mean, you probably don't even know what a barn butty is, Craig. But
a barn butty, what's that?
Oh no, I don't know
what a barn butty is.
What's a barn butty?
Lee, you know what a barn butty is, surely, coming from Blackpool.
I would have said it was a chip barn butty, but you mean a chip barn?
Like a chip barn butty.
A barn cake with a load of a chip butty, basically in a barm cake. Do you know what a barm cake is? It's like a
Do you know what? I'm learning things tonight.
You don't even know what a barm cake is. It's like
No.
like a small.
It's a chick cob. It's a chick cob. How can you call
Yeah.
it? Big...
It's
Call it
it's
a
like a
barm.
barm cake. I honestly think England should have just done North England and South England. We should just split off with different types of people. Blackpool can go into their own country. They can fuck off as well.
It's like a bun. Like a bun at McDonald's, but it's a little bit thicker than it's a bit heavier than a bun, isn't it? It's a barm cake anyway. It is a sort of you can have white bread, you can have brown bread barm cakes. Sean Byrne reckons that death threats to Jack is a little bit hard. Is a little bit harsh. So
thank you, Sean. I've got someone back.
Reece Jefferson says, "Come on, Blackpool Championship, here we come." Absolutely, we're back in. We're back in. Heinzer wants subtitles for the knobber. He says there. So
to get a laser stick here tonight, ain't you, Jack? Sorry, mate.
Jack, don't stand for it, Jack, man.
You get it. It's all banter. He says, "I'm starting the wind-ups already." Absolutely. Right. Stephen Woolley says, you have to pay to get onto Bournemouth Pier. Blackpool is free. Say no more. Blackpool fans will be ripped off at Bournemouth. Is this true? We have to pay to go on your pier? It
is. It is true. It's not much. To be honest, the last time I went onto the pier was for a couple of beers. I was a bit pissed, and to be honest, I don't know if my mate paid for me, so which could have been the case.
So what have they got on the pier that's worth paying to go on for? They got rides on it. I take it on your pier.
Yeah, you got some rides. You got Helter Skelter. It doesn't look a very big one. I've never been on it. I think it's for the kids mainly. But there's a nice restaurant, Key West, on there, so that's well worth a shout. And Aruba as well, which is. See, it's a really good night. It's a really, really good night out.
Is Bournemouth the place with a really old circus building?
No, I haven't seen. No, I haven't seen it, to be honest. Unless
it might be Eastbourne.
It
might be Eastbourne. One of them's got a really old sort of circus built at the same time as sort of Blackpool Circus. I think it might be Eastbourne. I was watching that. I don't know if you've ever watched him. It's what's he called? You walk along with him. I can't think of what it is. Walk Along Tim or something he's called. He does like walk around seaside resorts.
It's definitely not here.
No. David Scholes is asking Jake to tell us about a butter pie.
A butter what?
A butter pie?
Oh, he's telling me to. What do you mean? What's a butter pie? Quality. Honestly,
See, you're gonna get educated here. Come on, then, Jake. Tell these southern softies about a butter pie.
A butter pie is like the best thing you can get up north, especially in Preston. I don't know whether they have them in Blackpool, to be honest, but every go-to lunch meal, a half-time meal, whatever it is, butter pie has to be done. Anything else is just wrong. It's incorrect. It has to be a butter pie. I mean,
so what is a butter pie? Tell them. They don't even know what it is. Is it pie made out of butter or?
No, it's just like you've got the crust and then you've got butter in the middle, and then like the butter's melted, and it's just gorgeous. Honestly, I can't believe I don't know what a butter pie is. You're from Nottingham, aren't you? You're not even that far away.
Listen to me. I'm going to put it on Twitter. What is a butter pie? It's just a cup we put butter on, isn't it?
It's the best pie.
My mum used to like sugar butties. She used to love just sugar butties. It was one of the things. Sugar butties, yeah, butty with just sugar inside. It was never for me, but my mum used to love it. Chris Gray says Preston are going down this year. Come on, the seaside, as there we are. What do you think of that? Jack, are you going down this season? Do you think it's a relegation battle for Preston?
Preston will never go down.
No, I actually think there's definitely a chance, to be honest. I actually do think, like, being deadly serious, I do think there's a chance of North End struggling this year. I think there will be 3 worse teams, but, it's a big rebuild. We're trusting a guy based off 8 games who, to be fair, he deserved it in the 8 games that he had. He did well, won 5 of those 8 games, only lost 1, but it's going to be a tricky season, where in the past we've had Simon Grayson and Alex Neil, and they're safe pair of hands. You don't really go down with them unless you're Sunderland, but they're cursed. And you are a safe pair of hands, and it's it's going to be interesting to see what it's like under Frankie, and with all the new players. So it just depends on what sort of recruitment we get, to be honest. But I do think it's going to be a bit of a transition season again, and I don't think we're going to be pushing the players like we have been perhaps in a few seasons before the last one.
Steve Huntley asks, "What's it like in the Premier League, Jack?" And this, sorry, I forgot. You've never been in there.
Yeah,
we don't need to be in the Premier League. We don't need to be in the Premier League. We don't want to be in the Premier League. Who wants VAR?
Never ever. That's your name. Preston never ever.
Right, Jack. Let me ask a question. Right, do you really think the Championship is one of the best leagues in the world?
What, in terms of entertainment wise?
Yeah, or is it frustrating? I hate the league.
I think it's to be in it. I don't really enjoy it. To watch as a neutral, and I think it's very enjoyable because of how unpredictable it is. But I mean, last year was pretty dire anyway. All the games were pretty low scoring. League One was the league to be looking at.
Oh, dude!
What is it that you don't like about the Championship? I can't quite get my head around it. I mean, we went into the Premier League, and to be honest, I'm going to be straight with you. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it. One, because all the big teams seem to get all the decisions. You know what I mean? It's just so biased towards them. United, it's horrific. They move your fixtures all the time, so you arrange something, and then they move it from like a Saturday to a Sunday, or they put it on a Monday night, or they on a Friday night. You're always playing football on like weird times. You kick off at lunchtime, which I don't like. Lunchtime Saturday night kickoffs. I like 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It feels right to me. And then you get all these international breaks, and you just have like weeks and weeks of not playing. And I just found it, and you don't play as many games. You know what I mean? There's not as many teams in the Premier League. So there's not as many games, and it's great, but and you've not really got a prayer of winning it. Never mind, staying in it's hard enough, but to win it's impossible. So I found it, all right, and it would have been all right for the money, but obviously we didn't see a penny of the money. So
I've got to agree with that, Lee, to be fair. With regards to the Premier League, we spent 5 seasons in it. And to be honest, we didn't expect that. We expected 1 season straight back down. Eddie Howe worked his magic. The second season was fantastic. We brought in Jack Wilshere and managed to finish 9th.
Right.
But after that, it was a slow descent. So the following season, we finished 12th, and then slowly descended. And it was that last season that was a struggle. So we started it really well. We beat Southampton at their place, which was always nice. And it looked like at that point that they were going to be in trouble. And we looked like we was pushing back to that place where we got to 3 years earlier. VAR has completely ruined the league, even though we got the decision for us against Chelsea, which was Dan Gosling. Fantastic strike. They counted it, whereas normally that would never have been counted. It was that close. There was a lot of decisions that went against us, and there's one game, and I tell you what, you'll have to research this, but this is something that I spoke to the king of shopping TV about, Andy Hodgson. He's a bit like Alan Partridge, but one thing I spoke to him about, and it was the game against TV. Burnley.
Okay.
Yeah, Burnley. Yeah, not particularly my favourite team, to say the least. But they went 1-0 up.
Why
Burnley?
Yeah, what's wrong with Burnley? I mean, obviously we don't like him because they're another rival team, our six-fingered friends from Burnley. But
I think personally it was a little bit of mix with Eddie. Because of course Eddie went to Burnley. He did come back, which was great.
He didn't do so well at Burnley, really, did he? He didn't do very well at Burnley.
I think he was designing the squad that then Sean Dyche took over and managed to get out the Championship. But the thing with Burnley and our games against them, they were in ways, some games we dominated and we come out with nothing. They used to frustrate us. They were very physical. But one particular game, which was up at Turf Moor, Burnley went 1-0 up. And we thought we'd equalised. So the ball was in our box and we had a breakaway. Harry Wilson passed it to... it was Callum that passed it to Harry Wilson. And it was 1-1. Or so we thought. And instead, with VAR, they pulled it all the way back because Adam Smith was adjudged to have handled it in our box, and then gave a penalty to Burnley. So you went from that ecstasy of thinking 1-1, great.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that incident. Yeah, that was shocking, that, wasn't it?
2-0 down.
I mean, that's the one thing I don't look forward to, VAR. I thought VAR, I don't know about you guys, but I have this theory now. I've mentioned it quite a few times, but I think VAR should be used by the managers to challenge something. So they should be allowed to maybe challenge a couple of times a half, and that's it. If they get it wrong, they have 2 challenges, because I think it should be the managers that should be sort of asking for the fans, really, because if there's like an offside, everybody goes up, offside, or it's whatever. Well, if the manager thinks the same, then he should challenge it. I don't see why the referees are pulling every single incident back on VAR. It should just be a couple of challenges, and then I don't think it'd be all that bad, because you'd want to challenge certain things and they'd want to challenge certain things. It would make sense, but the way it is now, it just makes no sense at all. They just randomly pull it back for like a centimetre offside and all this, which is just nonsense to me. I don't get
the ecstasy of scoring a goal towards the end of that season. And during Project Restart, there was a number of incidents. Hawkeye was one of them in the Sheffield United Villa game, which, to be honest, if that goal had stood, it would have kept us up. At the end of the day, we can't blame anybody apart from ourselves for going down. But there were certain situations where, like Josh King, it was so narrow, it was like a toenail. Offside.
Yeah, just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, you don't see that with the human eye. It's just it's got to be sort of reasonable. I think it's kind of clear and obvious that you're offside. I agree. I'm just going to go through a couple of comments just for 1 second, and we can answer these. Nighthawk says, "Will the players' wages go up in the Championship, and if so, how significantly?" Well, they will go up. I don't know what are you guys paying? Have you any idea? Championship wages wise,
Bournemouth are playing completely different to I think us too.
we've got a high wage. We've got a big wage. We have at Forest.
What's your average sort of wage for a like a reasonable player? Would he be on 15 grand, 30 grand?
15. Lewis Grabber's on 35.
35 grand a week.
Lewis Grabber. Who else? Bruce Samber's on a high wage. Harry Arter, former player. He's on 30.
Right.
There's quite a lot of players like Jack Colback. He's on 35, 40.
Wow, you are high payers then, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why do you pay so high? Do you have an owner that's?
We've got a rich owner. We've got a rich owner.
Who is your owner, Dor, for Forest?
Alangios Makarakis.
Right.
He's the owner of Olympiakos as well.
Right. Okay.
I think he does oil or something like that. But he's a rich owner. He's not bad, but it's just it's a CEO at Forest. He's a prat, basically.
You go through about 5 managers a season at Forest.
You do seem to hire and fire.
When was the last time a manager lasted a season? Must be like 10 years ago.
No,
Lamucci last year, and then he was sat 4 games into this one.
Well, you hated him at the start of this season. You couldn't wait to get him out, could you, Dor? You were spitting feathers about.
Yeah, 4 defeats in a row. You can't deal with that. Like we brought 40 players in.
Yeah, but look at our start last season, Dor. We were like second off the bottom after 9 games, and we got promoted. So you can turn it around.
No,
you have faith. You can. It happens.
It happens.
We're proof it does.
Lee, but when you bring 14, but when you bring 14 players in, 14 players like
we brought in 14.
14 players were brought in.
Blackpool last season, yeah, we brought loads in, yeah, all new players, yeah.
Forest brought 14 players in, and there's
What we did,
You can't
faith
expect
in our
him to
manager,
change
Dor.
after
Faith
14
in our manager.
games.
right.
Yeah.
Jack and Cutting will know. Can you remember the Stoke game? Lamucci should have got sacked then.
Yeah.
He should have got sacked then, because that was just like the worst thing as far. Yeah, it was horrible. But
Was that like the 6-1 or something like that?
4-1.
Got battered. 4-1. You
Last
lost
game
the
of the
playoffs.
season.
But, yeah.
And every even I thought we'll win it. We'll get in the playoffs. And
yeah, you did think we were going to be in, didn't you?
To be fair, I think you'll have a lot better season this season, Mr. Dor.
We will.
You know, I think, Houghton's a good manager. He knows what he's doing in this league. So I think he'll do a good job there. With ourselves, just going back to the previous point about wages, Dean Court is only a small stadium. It's just over 10,000 seater. We have got the parachute payments for the next couple of seasons, but we do have a very, very high wage bill. So we had Josh King. Now, if rumours are to be believed, he was on 60 grand a week. So we had to shift him off the books. But there's also going to be other players, and I'm not sure exactly. It's all kept under wraps, but I'm not sure how much they, paid each week. But there's players like Jefferson Lerma, Arnaut Danjuma, Dominic Solanke, who will be. Begovic is believed to be on quite a lot as well. And it might be the case that we might have to maybe lose Begovic because of the costs. And plus, we've got Mark Travers coming through. So we're in a little bit of a different boat this season, where we're going to have to reduce our wage bill considerably.
How much are the parachute payments, Craig?
I think last season it was about 30 billion, but still, it doesn't offset the amount we did spend. We did spend a lot in the Premier League for our club.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's just overspending, isn't it? I know Norwich. I was reading about them. They were getting into quite a bit of financial trouble, so they made they had a board meeting and they decided that they would just go up to the Premiership the last time they went up and not spend very little and just come down with all of it really, and then pay off everything and get themselves straight and then go again. Obviously, last season, and they've got back up, haven't they? So they're going back into the Premiership now with like no debt, which is a fantastic achievement, really, I think, because that's the thing, it just cripples you, as you're going down, and if you're paying that kind of wages. I think it's
because we stayed there for 5 seasons as well. So in the first season, we made a few signings, quite a few loans. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. We kept, a lot of the players that have done us so well, the likes of Mark Pugh, Charlie Daniels, of course, Cookie's still there. Kane was still around the squad. Eventually, season on season, so the following season, we got Jack Wilshere on loan from Arsenal, which was a great step up. Finished 9th, and then we started spending quite a bit of money. So the likes of Jordan Ibe, we signed for 15 million. It didn't do a great job, to be fair. He was one of those players that had lots of skill. I believe he's at Derby, but I think maybe they even got rid of him. I'm not sure. But very nice guy. However, he was very skillful, but he was too greedy at times, and you thought, pass it in. So he was dropped by Eddie Howe. We had Lys Mousset, and eventually we started spending more and more money on players. Jefferson Lerma come for quite a bit. David Brooks is another player.
I like Brooks.
I don't. Well, David Brooks last season. He was, because I remember in the first game against Forest, he did really, really well, didn't he? If you remember.
Yeah.
But David Brooks is injury prone, and B, sometimes flatters to deceive. And what I mean by that is he'll do some really good things and then make a ridiculous pass, tries to overdo it sometimes.
Well, we've got a guest coming in. Just hang on, I'm going to have to move across a little bit. We've got Jane coming in, so she's just arrived. She's been. We've got a knob
Hello, Jane. You're right.
In the chat.
You know, be careful. Be careful, Jane. She's more of a bully than Lee.
No, he's in the stream.
How are you unsupervised for what, half an hour?
Here's a question for you guys, because I've been.
This is Jane, by the way. If anybody doesn't know, this is Jane. Does the channel with me.
Hello.
We've been talking about rebranding Preston Station to Blackpool East. We've already discussed that.
Oh yeah.
It has come up in the chat.
It's not just a rebrand. I mean, it's a whole bombing of the station and rebuilding it. Really, it's the most grim place on the planet.
Eugene McGeever says, "Who do you think will win the championship next season?" And he thinks Bournemouth will win the champion next season. So there's one in for you already there.
What?
Craig.
This is.
Anybody say the numbers in the chat?
It's interesting this because. Firstly, we're going to have to sell a few players, I believe, to balance the books. Yeah. We've not got as much money coming in. If it was to be believed, we spent a hell of a lot of money because of COVID and the wages we were paying. However, the big thing is Woodgate come in, did very, very well, managed to get us in the playoffs, and then it all tailed off. Those last 3 games were annoying for me because although I could see he was resting players, I believed we would have stood a good chance against, I think we would have beaten Swansea in semis, and then a one-off game against Brentford.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But Scott Parker has been mentioned, and it's something that I heard a little bit earlier than most, but then it started coming out in the press, and that would be interesting because I thought Fulham, when you looked last season, I thought Fulham have got a very good squad. They fell a little bit short. They had a bit of a wobble after March, but there was a point where they looked like they might have clawed themselves out of it. Newcastle did well towards the end as well. And Scott Parker coming to Bournemouth, I thought, that's a non-starter. But if you look at Fulham's squad from last season, there was quite a lot of loan players in there. And it's an interesting one because they've got a very, very wealthy owner. We've got a wealthy owner, but if you compare the two, would you say that Fulham's is probably a little bit more wealthy? You'd also say that Fulham are a bit more of even though yes, we spent 5 years in the Premier League, I would say Fulham are still a bigger squad. I think, to be honest, most clubs in the Championship. I would say Nottingham Forest and Preston are both bigger clubs, on the face of it, than Bournemouth is. But
you've been in the Premier League and Preston haven't.
Football wasn't created in 1992.
We know it stands for Preston Never Ever. The NE.
What does this? This is a very long. What's this? UTCIAD. What does that all stand for? What's going on there?
That's up the cherries in all departments. So that is the name of my YouTube channel. So
up the cherries in all departments.
In all departments.
In all departments.
Yes.
So.
Is that like in the maraschino department? And...
Yeah, it means across the club really, because what Bournemouth and what the feel is that everything needs to work together to actually make it as a whole, and that's something that, to be fair, it's something that Eddie Howe brought in. Together, anything is possible is another one of his slogans that he brought in. So yeah, there's a lot
to answer the question. Who's going to win the championship?
Who's going to win the championship?
I got to put him on mute. We need to get around everybody. Right. That was the question. Who do you think will win?
In a word,
just like just one team.
We will.
Bournemouth, great. Okay, right. Door. Who will win the championship next season? Can you tell us as much as Craig did there?
In 3,000 words.
Right now, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United.
No,
I
you think they're going to go down
dip.
again, don't you?
I think they could double dip. I do.
Sheffield United.
Yeah,
They've got the best manager in the league.
They have.
Manager in the league there.
They have.
He'll take them up.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sheffield United for door. Jack, who do you reckon?
Well, first of all, Craig, I'll have £20 on with you that Bournemouth will not go up next year, and they won't appoint Scott Parker. Big scream sideways move, Fulham to Bournemouth. And yeah, I'm agreeing with Dawes. I'm going Sheffield United.
Sheffield United. Who do you think, Jamie?
I'm sorry, I can't get my head round. We seem to be having a love-in with Preston today.
No, we're not.
No, we are, because I've seen it on Twitter. It's been happening on Twitter today because there's a Preston fan
I was having a love-in with Preston.
There's a Preston fan who's offered
to crash the party.
He's offered to buy a season ticket for somebody who's in a less fortunate position, and all these Blackpool fans retweeting saying, "Oh, isn't this lad great?" He's offering to, and
you can't have a love-in with Preston.
But it's happening. It's happening on our channel. It's happening. I can see it happening. It's here.
The great thing about the championship,
Lee invited me on. Lee said he'd be delighted to have me on. He begged to have me on. He's begged me to come on here.
I think it's great. I do. I think it's great. We're all for making friends with everybody. I wasn't quite expecting it with you guys, but it's nice.
The great thing about the championship, though, is that anybody could come out of nowhere. And for example, Barnsley, we beat Barnsley 4-0. At Oakwell, and then from that point onwards, they surged up the league. Finishing above us. So it could be a surprise package like that.
I hate to say it, but I think Blackpool will be up there next year. I genuinely do. I think they've got one of the best managers in the EFL at the moment, and I think the club from bottom up is on the way up, really. I think the whole way it's run and the way they performed last year. I feel like I've got my fingers crossed that I've got £5 on West Brom.
And the best thing,
I've got £5 on him because I'm begging that West Brom come in for Critchley because I think he's an absolute gem of a manager that you've got there.
Yeah.
And the best thing about it, Derby will be 24th, but they'll be minus 15.
Do you know what? Actually, one thing I was going to say beforehand, and the big question I was going to ask is, do you believe there's only two relegation places next season because of Derby and all the problems that are going on there?
Well, they got off with it last season, didn't they? They were going to give them a points deduction, then they didn't. And so what's going on? They're not paying players, are they? And
no,
surely they're going to get a point deduction for this. You can't. 5%. They definitely get. It was definitely 15 points. That's the minimum. So you're so happy, aren't you, Joel?
I genuinely don't think
it's like 15 going to be 25 points or something.
But Dol, would you miss them?
No.
Would you miss them? You wouldn't.
No, because everyone heard about the East Midlands Derby. Listen to me. We was in League One for 3 years. 3 years, and they was laughing at us. And I want them down. Simple as that.
You got to hope that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank works his magic and gets Burton up. So you got a local rival.
No. Because Derby can go down and then they can play for the Nigel Clough Cup.
Or the Andy Garner Cup. Former Blackpool favourite there. So can I just? I had a question for Jack.
Okay.
So how long have you been in the Championship now? Because Dor was saying he's like getting bored because they've been up there for 13 years. How long have Preston actually been in the Championship now? It must be something similar, is it? Or longer?
No, it's only been about 6 years. We came up under.
We went down when we went in the Premier League. Remember?
Larry took you down.
No. Phil Brown took us down. Although it wasn't his fault, it was Darren Ferguson who was in charge for the majority of the season. So went up with Larry, and then. We had 2 good seasons with Larry in the Championship, really. And then
we played you in 2012, didn't we? In that cup game where Larry beat us. I think they got promoted that season, if I remember right. So that'd be 2. Was it the next season after?
It was 2015 we got promoted. So this will be our 7th consecutive season in the league.
So not that long then.
So it's not been that long. So, but I mean, we're never going to go up to the Premier League anytime soon. So we're happy being in the Championship.
So what did you think of Larry? What happened? Yeah.
Well, he left to become Sunderland manager. He said it simply. I interviewed him about a year ago now, and he said that he loved the whole North End. He loved North End. He loved the players. The players would run through a brick wall for him, but Sunderland had just come down, and he saw it as he always wanted to manage in the Premier League, and Sunderland were obviously a bigger club, more finances, had better players, and had more potential to be a Premier League club. And I don't think anyone from the North End fan base had a go at him or were upset at him leaving. We were upset at him leaving, but weren't upset at why he left, because Sunderland are a massive club, probably one of the top 15, top 10 clubs in the country. So, and then we got Alex Neil in for 4 years, and we had 4 pretty good years under Alex as well. So we've had a steady. We haven't been in a relegation battle in our 6 years in the Championship, which, considering like Craig's going on about Bournemouth paying 60, 70k a week, and Dole's going on about Forest paying 30, 40k, we're probably about 10, 15k, 15 at maximum. So
really,
we're living on we're on a shoestring budget.
That's big for us, isn't it?
Our record signing was in 2004. David Healy. We haven't broken our transfer record for 17 years.
David Healy, good player he was.
Here's one for Dole.
Preston have always been managed quite well, though.
Yeah, they've had some great managers.
Yeah, they have, from David Moyes, and they do pick good managers.
It's quite interesting. That Larry story was very similar from when he was here as well, because he left us to go to Leeds, and it was just like, well, it's his hometown, and we get why he's going there. So, but yeah, when he came back the second time, it was just, well, we don't.
The one they didn't like was the guy. He was the one that really didn't go down well.
There's quite a lot of them.
No, there was one Preston manager who was really slated. The guy that I don't know, doing the military stuff in the morning.
Graham Wesley.
Yeah,
God, honestly, he hated him.
Wesley.
Awful.
Proud to be Posh says apparently Posh and Poole and Forest are battling for a Chelsea player who got released called Izzy James. Thoughts on that one, Dor?
Izzy James? Who's that?
I've never heard of him. He's asked his thoughts, Dor, on Lee.
Izzy Brown? Is it Izzy Brown?
Izzy James, is that not Reese's James' sister? Sure, she plays football. Izzy James.
I was going to say it's a girl's name.
Izzy James has got a sister. Izzy's a girl name, isn't it?
Let me check.
Was he on loan at Huddersfield at one point?
That's Izzy
Brown.
Brown.
Izzy Brown. That's Izzy Brown.
It might be Izzy Brown that he's talking about. He may have got that name wrong. We'll just have to.
I like,
to us if you think.
If he's talking about Izzy Brown, I like him. I think he was at he was Luton.
Right.
Then no. He was at Luton 2 years ago, and last year he was at Sheffield Wednesday.
Right.
But he didn't score. He didn't score any goals there for Wednesday.
Well, if he goes to Forest, he won't score there because everybody I know you always say it's the death of a striker when they go to Forest. Joshua Billingsley talking about the world's biggest club, the 14th biggest club in the world or something, was it? I think we were saying that. He says that Charlie Wyke has left Sunderland. Anybody fancy him? He was a top scorer for Sunderland, but he's left. Would you fancy a bit of Charlie Wyke? Anybody?
Forest was linked with him. I remember Forest was linked with him.
Tumbleweed goes across.
But I prefer that other player called. I prefer that other player called Jerry Yates.
He's class.
He's got no chance.
Everyone wants a bit of Jerry
50 million.
This is another example of Preston fans and this loving. There was like a Preston guy who worked in a bar in Preston, and he's like, "Oh, I've had my photo taken with this guy today. He's a top baller, even though he plays with that lot down the road." It's everywhere. It's mental.
We haven't played through it
for
for 8
when we get
years.
to heaven.
It's like we're in a parallel universe. Or are we just happy because we got promoted and we love everybody at the moment? I don't know.
Scott's World of Adventures is in. Good on you. Come on, guys. Let's all share the stream and like it. Absolutely. Share it and like it. Even if there's a knobber on it, it's not.
We can't. It's disrespectful. We shouldn't call him that. He's our friend now.
It is. To confirm, it is Izzy Brown.
Struggle to say.
I know.
I can't get out.
You've got some setup behind you there. I like that setup.
We've got some balloons left over. We had a promotion party.
So we had a promotion party last week. So they're still up. We're still in party mode here.
I'm trying to figure out. Are you outdoors there?
Yeah, he's in.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Spain.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh,
yeah, beautiful.
Oh, nice, mate.
Why don't you tell us this?
Beautiful.
Hey, That's all right. Bloody
I'm
hell.
in my back garden.
Yours on his trampoline
Well,
later.
you were only saying you wanted a trampoline, weren't you? Have you got trampoline envy there?
I have got
We were saying how amazing it would have
I've
been
got
when we were
trampoline
kids
envy.
to have trampoline in the garden. It's just like you couldn't imagine it.
Semi-Charles Lai says they're a bit torn on Pickford over at Goodison. He's an Everton fan. It makes some worldies and then scuffs it for no reason. But that kind of... I like the keeper last night. Did you all watch?
Oh.
It's my screensaver, Jordan Pickford.
Oh.
My favourite
is it?
footballer of all time. Played for North End.
Oh, yeah.
Class.
Wow, yeah.
JP1. Quality.
That's it. Drop it in there, Jack, while you can.
How many England caps have Blackpool got? I'm talking 21st century. Stanley Matthews doesn't count.
Okay.
Ooh.
I tell you
Wow.
what, he's knackered us now, then, if you're talking 21st.
We had Sam Johnston.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Last
he's a Preston
night?
lad, and I tell you
Yeah.
what, he's a good keeper. He is a good keeper.
He is really
I
good.
think he's the best one I've seen. And did you see that save he pulled off last night? By the way,
Yeah,
we were
very
watching
good.
the game.
Yeah.
That save, it was honestly, he went down to his left, got up, went to his, and honestly, how he saved it, it was like Gordon Banks, like it was unbelievable. It really was. And then he fluffed his lines right at the end, didn't he? And nearly gave a goal away. But,
In answer to your question, Joe Hart did
Yes.
Play for Blackpool.
yes, he did. Yes, Joe Hart. There you go. Got it in there, Jane.
I don't know where I grabbed that one from, but I found it.
Yes, I think he's number 23s with Tom Innes, but
Yeah.
Joe Hart absolutely played
Yeah.
for Blackpool. Yeah, favourite son of Blackpool.
And Kenny Dougal's starting for Australia
Kenny Dougal's
tonight.
Australian, yeah, Socceroo baby.
First full cap. First,
Yeah.
Anyone
start.
could play for Australia.
Dan Ballard.
It's not technically true. I think you've got to be Australian.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
you got-
Preston have had quite a few, haven't you? Well, look at you had Beckham on loan at one point.
We did. Honestly, North End.
Yeah,
We've got
Victoria. I
Lucas-
forgot about
we had
that.
Lucas Metru scored the winner in the European Championship under-21s final yesterday for Germany. He was with us
Wow.
2 years ago.
I'll tell
For
you.
the home of developing youngsters, I heard.
Sam
Sam
Allardyce.
Ellie Sims does. Sam Allardyce.
Sam
Nice.
Allardyce. We had a manager as well.
Yeah, we had
So-
Sam.
So, yeah,
He
I'm
managed
gonna come
it.
in. I'm pulling him out
Doesn't count.
there.
We had Sam as well, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, he was with you first, wasn't he? Actually,
did.
yeah.
He's the only man with a 100% record as well.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was looking forward to him being England manager. I thought it was so bad the way they stitched him up.
Never liked him.
David Scholes is keeping the dislike button live and well.
Well, they all count.
Yeah, I don't mind. Dislike it's a like. It's all. It don't matter. It's all as good as it. It don't matter whether you like it or dislike it. To be honest, YouTube like it either way. Right, Sirius says, as a Sunderland fan, if Pickford's in form, he's world class. However, when he's not in form, well, we all know what happens then, don't we? So yes, he is a bit hit and missy, isn't he, Pickford at times? He started off like brilliant, didn't he?
I don't rate Pickford.
I don't think he's ever put. I don't
Sorry,
think he's ever
Jack,
put a glove
Jack.
wrong for England, though. I think for Everton, he's had some right shaky moments, hasn't he? But
Which keepers don't, though? Every keeper in the world does.
Not
David
Chris
Hayes
Maxwell.
gone through it. Allison's had it. Maxwell used to have it at North End all the time.
Yeah,
So-
he's
That was
a
before
real-
he was properly coached.
Yeah,
though.
before he was properly coached by a proper coach. Connor Ogle, I had to just, he says a lot of laughing there and saying Fylde are bigger than Blackpool. Should we put him
He's
right
got a
on
point.
that? 'Cause do you think?
Bigger?
Well,
got a point.
Bigger in
the
what
actual
sense?
The actual Fylde coast is like bigger than actually Blackpool in terms of mappage.
Bitch.
But
He's deluded, isn't he? What's going on there?
Fylde being bigger than Blackpool.
I tell you what, Fylde were
manner
great.
are you
I had
on?
my jab at Fylde, really well organised, very good. It's a great COVID jab centre, so get bonus points for that.
Night Talkers here said we need some channel merch. We've got loads of channel merch. We haven't buys it. So it's all a bit dear. You can have a Lee Charles TV bum bag if you want one.
It's a thing.
Should I put the merch link up on the thing? You have to go to leecharles.tv, the merch store.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
all
click on
there.
merch store. It's all there. You can get hoodies.
We've got
and
more coming, actually. We've got lots of exciting things coming next season.
We have. We've
so
got some
watch
exciting
this
stuff
space.
coming. We've got a new character coming. We can't tell you
Yeah.
about him yet, but he's on the way. Yes, of course. People are putting Night Talk correction in there. Yeah, they have merch. People say I've lost my thread now. Yeah, some people are always saying go to Lee Charles TV. They are popping up. See, look, people are on it. Go to
good.
leecharles.tv.
It's quite useful.
Will
these.
Bam versus Sunderland were a massive flop. They still are, aren't they? Talking about
Yeah,
Sunderland. I mean, they think they are still Premier League, and they're not. They can't seem to come to terms with the fact that they haven't got Premier League players. But in terms of how big a stadium and everything, it's impressive, isn't it? Really?
The thing about Sunderland, they've got like Sunderland, Newcastle. They've got a big fan base. I think they've got a massive fan base. So I do rate Sunderland for that, but big club.
I'd have them top 10 in England. Top 10.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have them probably about 10.
I would say that they're definitely up there. You know, again,
top 10.
Yeah.
They're a bigger club than we are.
Right, hang on. So who's the top 10 then?
You've got your current big six. Your current big six. So
wait, Jack. Who's the top 6?
Well, the current, you know, like the Super League clubs. They will. You know, they're not the top 6. You've also got Everton. You've got Villa. You've got Newcastle, and you've got Sunderland. That's your top
fan base.
Leeds are probably even with Sunderland. I think Leeds are very overrated.
Yeah. No, wait, Jack. Clubs.
Leeds have spent more seasons in the second division than the first division.
Jack. Jack. Clubs or fan base?
Clubs. So we're talking trophies, fan base, current history, past history. Yeah, Sunderland are massive. Yeah.
Right.
They've got a Netflix documentary about them.
Someone have a word. Someone have a word with.
Sunderland are a big club. Yeah.
Top 10. People in the comments. Come on, have a word.
I would say Sunderland are a big club.
I agree. They're a top club.
Can I just say you're missing out Sheffield Wednesday? They're bigger than all these clubs put together.
They are the world's most massive club, according to
massive with a capital MASSIVE.
Oh, don't talk to me about Sheffield Wednesday. And,
Why? Why?
Have you had a bad experience there?
Yes, Bitegate, let's call it. And it was Windass.
Bitegate.
Bitegate, yeah. If you have a look at the situation with Jefferson Lerma,
supposedly, yes.
He didn't do it. I'm sure, 100%. You know, that Lerma did not do a single thing, and you know, I stand by that. You know, Lerma's actually even put it out that he didn't do nothing.
What did he not bite?
He's meant to have bit Windass.
Where?
Dean Windass.
On the shoulder.
Josh Windass.
Josh
Windass. Yeah.
Oh. Well, not
yes. Yeah. So Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, can do one, to be fair.
Ray Cram's just come on. He's a little bit late, actually. He says, "Evening, everyone. Can you ask Craig for me how would Bournemouth do this year?" We daren't ask him it, Ray. We've already asked that question, and it went on for about half an hour.
He certainly did. You know, it's a long old answer. It's a long old answer.
Should we get an egg timer?
The countdown thing. Can we together? Yes,
who do you reckon the top 6 will be, guys?
Sorry?
Who do you reckon will be in the top 6, though?
Of
Sheffield United.
Fulham.
Okay.
Jack, you go first. Let Jack go first.
Go
on. Sheffield United, Fulham, Swansea, Cardiff, Forest, and
Forest in there.
I like you, Jack.
Middlesbrough, Blackpool and Blackburn just missing out, and Stoke just missing out. That'll be like your chasing pack.
Yeah. Okay. That's quite interesting. You haven't put us in there at all.
If you keep Jonathan Woodgate, I really don't rate the man. Really do not rate
him. I believe he's left. I believe he's left.
Is he? Right. Well, it depends on who you appoint. So it's all in the air.
Am I next?
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you that Catherine Stanley's agreeing with Jay, and she thinks we're in the honeymoon period.
I think Sheffield United definitely. I think Sheffield United will win the league because they've got a great manager. I'm not going to put us. No, definitely not put Forest there. No chance.
No. Well, that's not surprising.
Who else was there?
Semi John says trampoline cam.
It's a difficult one. I don't know who's in the league. I think not Bournemouth. I don't like. I said to you, Craig, in the podcast. I don't rate Woodgate. I don't rate him. I don't rate him at all.
especially having to do a rebuilding job, which he might have to do.
Yeah. I don't. I definitely think Sheffield United is top one, but I don't know. There's so many. The league's crazy. I don't think
It's
West Brom.
crazy, isn't it?
I don't think West Brom. I don't think West Brom will get it. Who's their manager? Who's West Brom's manager?
They've not appointed one yet, but Michael Appleton is top. Lincoln manager Michael Appleton's top of the betting list at the moment with Chris Wilder number 2. So,
Do you guys think it's
I want them to go for Critchley.
Do you think it's a hard league? Do you think the Championship's a hard league?
I think it's an open league. I think it's a league where anybody could jump out of the pack. You never know. You know, Blackpool might be right up there, you know, in contention. Look at what happened with Barnsley. Look at what happened with Reading. Look at what happened Swansea. I thought Swansea, yeah, okay, they got in the playoffs the season before. But well, it was very, very lucky, wasn't it, to be fair, how Swansea got into the playoffs the previous season. And Missador won't like what happened. But
why Craig?
Anybody could.
Craig, why?
Sorry, sorry, I had to.
You treated him there.
You're starting him off.
Oh no!
It's going to be a door rant. It's coming. I can feel it.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, just to quickly change this goal.
Can I dive in?
Go on.
While I remember, sort of, we haven't been in the Championship for a few years, and I mean, we weren't. I wasn't going when we were there last anyway because it all got a bit shit. But what's the Championship like for sort of shithousery and histrionics and stuff like that? Because League One wasn't great, really.
No, there was a lot of teams that had games management, as they call it.
Because the Premier League teams don't want the Neil Warnocks, they don't want the Mick McCarthys, they don't want the Chris Hutons. So the Championship end with them, and they're good managers, but the defensive, the pragmatic managers, and they squeeze out games.
5%.
It's ugly.
So many games
last year with 0-0 and 1-0.
Yeah,
ugly.
Spot on, Jack. 100%. And like the thing with Chris Hughton, like when we appointed him, Forest fans got excited, but they need to remember he's like you just said, he's a manager that likes to win games 1-0, 2-1, but especially 1-0 games. So, but would I take that? Of course I will, because I want to get promoted to the Premiership.
Yeah. Okay, so changing it just a bit.
That wasn't the answer I wanted.
We can have something we can all maybe answer. What do you think of England's chances in the Euros coming up? Seriously, guys, what do you think? I mean, I think we're going to win them. I'm going to start off by that. I think this is our time.
Semi-final.
Last 16.
16.
It depends when we face France or Belgium. They're the two sides that I fear the most. The Portuguese, I don't think.
Surely Ronaldo can't be as good as he has been. Surely he's got to be getting worse, has he, by now? He can't still be that great.
How old is he now, Ronaldo?
No,
35.
Portugal, Spain, Germany, I don't think they're going to do anything. But I think the French are the dangerous side. I think we've got a chance.
We will meet France, won't we? If they win their group and we win ours, I think would we play France in that?
No, second place. We'll play second place.
So, but it's second of Germany, Portugal, and France. So we're screwed basically because I think you probably want Germany, but I disagree with Craig. I think Portugal would beat us.
What if we finish second? Who do we play then?
Then France, I think.
We then play the top, so we can't avoid them whichever way around. So we might as well win then. Hopefully win.
Yeah.
No. What do you think of Scotland's chances? Because there's quite a few from Scotland in this stream.
I don't even think they'll make it out of the group.
Lee, why are you mentioning Scotland League for? Don't mention that league.
I just wanted to get a rise in.
Right. Listen, right. Jack and Craig, this is a question for you lot. Do you lot? Me and Lee, we have this debate. Do you rate the Scottish League?
No. And I think personally, there's only two sides that really are likely to win it. And let's be fair,
we know that
Celtic didn't do much last season.
No, there is only two.
I don't rate League One.
No.
Listen,
Jane, I prefer to watch a League Two. Not even that. Is it a national conference game?
National League.
National League. Than a Scottish game.
Go on, Jack. What were you going to say about Scotland?
No, I think obviously like there's they're your two strong teams, Scotland and Celtic and Rangers,
Yes.
and then the others are probably, I think it's fair to say, probably about League One level. So I wouldn't say it's like a bad league. I mean, you get good players in there, you get some decent teams, you get some good managers in there. My pick when Alex Neil left was St Johnson's manager, Callum Davidson, who's just won the Scottish double, like cup double there. So
yeah.
Well, did he play for Preston, Jack?
Yeah, he was captain for North End. Yeah.
He played for Preston and Blackburn. Yeah.
I've just got to quickly say, Ian Barron, who is our favourite Darlington fan in the whole wide world, has just said that Jordan Pickford was also on loan at Old Darlington FC. So it doesn't
always brings the Darlington reference into every
It doesn't matter what we talk about. There's something harks back to Darlington FC.
We're learning a lot about Darlington.
You can talk about anything. There's always some tenuous thing to Darlington, but that's quite good, isn't it? That Jordan Pickford has played for them.
Yeah.
There's a comment from Cod Vlogs. Are you okay, Jigsaw Jack?
Is there? Where is it? Sorry, it's way down, I think.
Yeah, Jigsaw Jack. What's that? Jack, what's that all about?
Sorry, I've not seen anything. Go on.
There's comments from Cod Vlogs. Fleetwood fan.
Jigsaw Jack.
Jigsaw Jack. What's that?
Jigsaw Jack.
He
doesn't like this.
Ben Natman. He's coach. Is he a coach? Ball boy, linesman, goalkeeper coach. I don't know what you'd call him, but one of the teams. The team I play for. I'm a goalkeeper, so he says.
Oh, that's why I like Pickford.
Yeah, no. He says every time the ball gets laid into the box, I fall to pieces. So he calls me. It's a good way for my coach building up my confidence.
So, what level do you play at, Jack? Then what?
Nothing. It's do you know Macclesfield? Yeah. So I've been playing for their their 21s. So they're like international academy side.
Right, okay.
So I don't know how I've ended up there.
Did you pay a fortune to get into that?
No, some of the lads. So a lot of the lads are American. So I'm one of the only English lads there. But I don't know how I ended up there. I think I just blagged my way into it. I don't think I'm good enough, but I just blagged my way into it, and I ended up playing. And we did all right. We're going to play at Stadium, get managed by the first team manager because obviously they've not had a team this year. So Danny Whittaker has managed us, and Robbie Savage comes down to the games because he's the director of football. So, yeah, it's been good fun, and I've enjoyed it. But there's definitely no career for me, unfortunately. No.
Is Marvin Exeter's brother still at Macclesfield?
I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
Only BFC Edie is reminding us of Countdown. I think there's one going like you remember there's one episode of Countdown where the vowels and the consonants all ended up as they spelt PNE crisis, didn't they, on the actual?
Yeah, famously the producer of Countdown is a Blackpool fan.
Yeah, so
met him at Darlington. There's a Darlington fact for you, Ian.
Wow, fun fact. It all goes back to Darlington. You'll find that no matter what you talk about.
I'm doing it now. It's catching. It's like Ipswich.
Can I ask a question? Who do you think will get relegated to the Championship then? Right now, who do you think?
Well, you think Sheffield United, don't you?
I think, and I hate to say this, but to the posh fans in there, but I think Peterborough will struggle. I do. I didn't think we beat them twice. I didn't think they were that good, and it's whether they can hold on to their players.
Derby.
We were talking about Derby, aren't we? If they have got a 15-point deduction, then sneaky. I think Luton Town might struggle this season.
Just don't say Barnsley because I said they'll finish 24th.
I reckon Derby finish rock bottom. I think their problems get the better of them. Huddersfield were a side that I thought were quite poor last season.
Yeah, well, they just brought Jordan Rhodes, haven't they?
Have they?
Yeah,
they brought him back.
Yeah, they brought him back. So
could be a decent signing for them. And then I've got to agree with you, Lee. I think Peterborough are going to struggle. I think you guys will be clear. I think you guys will be well clear.
Top half.
Sirius doesn't agree. He thinks that Blackpool will go down.
No. I think it's impossible. I said this for weeks. It was impossible that we weren't going to go up because we're just improving all the time. The way Critch develops the players that we have are getting better and better all the time, and they're going to continue to get. The players that we have are going to continue to get better and better and better. Everybody individually are going to get better. So therefore, as we go into next season, those players are going to continue to get better. The new players that we bring in, who are going to be good anyway, hopefully, they're going to continue to get better. It's just because we've got a manager who wants to improve himself, head coach, isn't he? Wants to improve himself, wants to improve his players. We're only going in one direction. It's impossible that we're not going to succeed. It's impossible.
I genuinely think Neil Critchley is so talented of a manager, and it's not you play decent football, but he's pragmatic too. Like, you can shut out teams, and that's what's needed as you go higher up in the divisions. And I think it just strikes so many similarities back to David Moyes. I mean, obviously I was probably about 1 or 2, but when David Moyes was in charge of North End, and then he got the Everton job, and he worked out well there because he can shut out teams, and obviously he's doing that at West Ham. My best mate that I'm on holiday with used to play for Liverpool under-23s, and Critch was his manager. Can't speak highly enough of him. Ben Winterbottom plays for Brentford now, so he's their third choice goalkeeper. But he's he was with Liverpool under-23s starting under Critch last year.
Right.
Well, not last season, but the year he was in charge of Liverpool.
See, we'd never heard of him. You know, he completely came in out of left field. We just, it's like all of a sudden he's like Blackpool manager Neil Critchley, and you're like, who? And they say he was in, Liverpool's under-23 coach, and he'd been there for 8 years. And all of a sudden, Blackpool fans are thinking, I'll tell you what, this could be quite good. We didn't know what to expect, and it didn't start off so well. And there was a lot of Blackpool fans, calling for his head. They were even calling for his head late on when we lost to Rochdale and Shrewsbury. There's still people saying, but oh, something coming.
But no, I mean, we can't. I thinking, and also they want to succeed, and they will be aiming high. I think they'll be aiming for top half next season. So, but where we'll finish, I'm not quite sure. But we'll be aiming for top half.
I think mid-table finishes.
Is there a comment,
is a good season.
Yeah, have you seen Lisa's comment? Lisa Howard.
Lisa. Okay.
Hi, Lisa. We're going down.
Okay, right. Okay. Lisa Howard says, we won't go down. Nothing mentioned about 15-point deduction. Not sure where you've seen that. We're paying players. Sorry, your facts are wrong. And a lot
of rams there.
A lot of rams in that. So she's just put you down there, Dor. It's not going to happen. You're dreaming on a 15 point.
Lisa, you're going down. That's where you're going.
I've got to agree. I can't see Derby staying up, to be fair. Derby are a very, very big club. Probably not as big as Forest. You'll be pleased to hear that, Dor.
Very quickly, the Scottish boys are in. Peter, who has been on our channel on the FVP, he is a Scottish Premier Football League through the lens, says, other than Lee and Jane, I think the rest of you have been so disrespectful of the Scottish game. When was the last time you watched a Scottish game or been to a match in Scotland? And we also have to remind people that the finances, the financial situation between English football and Premier League and the Scottish Premier League, it's a gulf, a million miles. Yeah. A million miles apart.
We don't really get it shown on telly.
We don't see much of it, do we? Really?
I've seen a couple of games, and to be fair, when it's Rangers or when it's Celtic involved, unless they're playing each other, it's normally one side of the affair. Yes, there's the odd surprise every now and again, but when you watch one of two of the lower teams going at each other, you might as well be watching AFC Wimbledon versus Fleetwood.
Right, my problem is, right, and I said to
better than that.
No, right. My problem is, I said to Lee on the show,
Fleetwood.
If you're a, I don't know, Aberdeen fan, Hearts fan, you as a fan, you're thinking you should win the league. You can't think, we're going to finish third. We that's a fantastic tune for us. No, I want to win the league. Celtic and Rangers, that's all everyone talks about.
Oh, well, only BFC Edie says it's Forest to go down. Spent 14 years there. The fans are so bored. going down, he reckons. That's it.
Well, it's just like being in the Scottish League, isn't it? You got no chance of winning it, so you might as well, go down, so you might
Well,
go up again.
Jake Tong's here. He's
Hello, Jake.
What's he saying about this? He's saying he bloody loves it. Way more competitive than the Championship next season. He's in League One. Obviously, he's a Lincoln fan, friend of the show, and 16 teams will think they can go up. So it's popcorn at the ready.
I suppose it is more competitive, isn't it? But it is shit, isn't it? Really. I think you don't. I've said this for a lot. I've always said this when we were down there before. It's like if you're not shit, you can get out of League One. You can. It's all about consistency and just not being shit. Because everybody's
not shit. Jane.
No, but they are. They're all shit, aren't they? They've all got shit players.
Not shit.
Or players who are crocs or whatever. And anyone who's actually not shit
can get out.
Can get out of it.
It's
not hard. You look at Sunderland. The reason they've been down there for as long as they have, it's because they've got players with chips on the shoulders.
Yeah,
and
look at Ipswich, Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Ipswich, Portsmouth,
same thing.
Charlton.
Yeah. David Moyes apparently has been linked with the Everton manager again after Carlo Ancelotti left for Real Madrid. What do you reckon? Moyes back
Why
there?
would he leave West Ham?
Exactly. Why? Finishing fifth in the league as well.
Why would you ever go back? And to be fair, he did go back to West Ham for his second one and did well in his second stint. But I don't think Everton fans want it, and I don't see why Moyes would want it other than maybe being closer to home. It's Everton are a big club, probably got a bit more money, but West Ham are in a better position than Everton are. And for me, it screams something that would happen in the Bundesliga, but we don't see that in England. Managers don't just sideways move like it's the Char slide.
What do we think of this comment? 1872 Jordan says Celtic have been awful this season and would still beat Brighton and Southampton. Are we agreeing on that Celtic could take on Brighton and Southampton?
No.
Brighton are a good team. As well,
Brighton are a good team. I wouldn't go as far as that, Jack. About Southampton. Well, no, to be honest, they beat us 3-0, so I can't really say.
That's the sunset in Spain.
Yeah, it's gone down.
We can't see you anymore. Are you still there?
No, it's all right when he comes forward.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, you're fine now. Yeah. If you go back, you just go into obviously darkness because it's gone. It looks like a lovely night out there. It looks really hot.
Gorgeous. I've tanned really well on the beach today.
I know. We can see. How long have you been out
there? About 12 hours.
Oh, right, okay.
What a way to spend my first night in Spain.
yeah, on a bloody Blackpool.
On the Blackpool fan channel. Hey,
you better not tell you
the dream.
I'll tell your mates about this one.
Dave, shout Forest. Shout you Reds.
You dare me to shout that.
Still defending Derby. She's still defending Derby. The club is in a mess for sure. Lots of sort out will struggle, but worse teams she thinks they'll get a 6-point deduction.
No, it'd be more than Sheffield Wednesday.
If you remember what they said, remember when it came out, the statement, because if whatever happens, they can't appeal on the points deduction, but they can appeal on someone else, I think it was. But whatever points they get, they can't appeal for the points. So whatever points they get, they can't.
They can't appeal. So what they get is what they get. Because Sheffield United, because Sheffield Wednesday got, they had it halved, didn't they? And this went down. Sean Downing says, would you rather watch Scottish football or American League soccer?
MLS
as well.
I think it's an underrated league. Again, I think the MLS is an underrated league. I think it's just as good as the Championship in terms of the quality of players you get.
I like the bad commentary. Talking about the wrong things.
It's entertaining, yeah.
It is. It's really good. It's like,
it's predictable. SPL's predictable. It's either Rangers or Celtic who are going to win it. Okay, when was I don't even know when the last time it wasn't Rangers or Celtic. I don't think it's ever been in my livelihood.
I don't think it ever
never
has
not been.
Has any other team
Scottish
people can fill us in on that? If anybody else other than Rangers and Celtic have ever won the league, I know they've won cups. They've won cups.
Aberdeen
have won it, have they? Did they win it on the Fergie?
Yeah.
They won the European Cup, didn't they?
But that's it. That's it.
On the Fergie.
No.
Read all about it in issue 2 of Turnstiles magazine, which is out at the moment. Great read.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to have to get my charger.
Okay.
The phone, hang on 2 seconds.
Okay, no worries.
But to be honest, I mean, I don't watch I don't watch Premier League. I'm not interested in the European Cups, whatever they're called now. You know, I watch the Euros, I watch the World Cup, you know. So in terms of any other league, really, I'm not interested. I watch Blackpool.
We watch mainly the league we're in.
I quite like watching the early rounds of the FA Cup. I enjoyed that, you know, watching the preliminary rounds on the BBC this year, but really don't watch any other football. Not interested. Whatever country it's in, really.
But you go to every game, don't you?
Yeah.
Every game.
That's enough.
So it's a bit of a life commitment to Blackpool. So, you know, to go to every game home and away is quite, and you know, including, like we said, all the little cup games, which we won't be in this season, which is fantastic. We're not in the Papa Bloody John.
Are they cancelling the League Cup this year? Are they getting rid of that altogether? Did I hear? They're talking about it, are they?
Are they?
It's because it's getting in the way of the European competitions because they're having so many more games. They don't want to be bothering with the League Cup anymore. So I think they're on about potting it, weren't they?
Just get rid of the bigger clubs then. Simple as that.
Well, yeah.
You don't. It would be good.
No, they were talking about getting rid of it altogether, but like compensating the clubs for the money that they would have lost. You know, the lower league clubs from what they would have lost. But I don't know how they can do that because it's such a big thing, isn't it? When you play a big side in the cup, it's a massive thing.
Do you think that
financially,
COVID really affected, you know, your games in the Championship this season? We know fans. You know, do you think
5%? 5%, yeah. Like. If fans was at Forest, the things what's happening behind the scenes, like I mentioned about the CEO has really messed up the club, and if fans was in that ground, it would have been absolutely toxic. So, or on the pitch, it's really affected the players. If I'm honest,
it's like a lawnmower.
Somebody's starting up a lawnmower.
It's like watching the interviews at Blackpool Football Club, and they're always mowing the lawn, or mowing the pitch when they're interviewing the manager.
Yeah, they always interview Critchley, and somebody comes out with a lawnmower behind, and you can't hear what he's saying, or the seagulls come, or something like that. It's unbelievable.
Sorry about that, guys. Just had to grab the charger.
You know what? I need to charge my laptop as well.
So, we'll probably come into a close. Should we about past? We'll take some last comments because
it's nice having new people. You're very welcome. It's been nice having you.
It's been good.
No, it's a pleasure to have you back.
We have a bit of banter, you know what I mean? Joshua W says, don't forget, a large number of clubs in the other major European leagues are also Championship level quality, finance and stadium size wise. They are. I mean,
not interested in them either.
You know, you just can't knock. You know, Scotland as well. You know, some of these leagues. You know, the German league is that.
Well, Germany's meant to be good fun, isn't it? Because it's a whole different experience over there.
Yeah, it's very loud over there. I'd like to go to.
Mind you, that said, Scotland, good food up there.
Yeah,
with the bridies and stuff.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward. We're going.
Good food in Scotland.
Yeah, the grounds. It's like different.
Which one?
Oh, well, lots of them. I can't.
Well, I'm bursting to go there so I can see a haggis.
Off the top of my head, but
I'll go Scotland for the food. If they sell good chicken, I'll go.
Yeah.
But I won't go to a game.
Peter Dolan.
Yeah, but they haven't got what Hooters has got.
Armand Angele plays for Hearts, so the Scottish League must be decent, says Peter. Armand Angele is there. That's Blackpool player.
That's the Scottish Championship as well, isn't it? I don't think that's Scottish Premier League.
Probably is, yeah.
I don't know who that is.
I'll tell you what I was watching during the first lockdown, because it was the only football that was going on. The Belarusian League.
Yeah, how was that?
It was National League level, but it was something to watch.
Yeah, we were covering it on this channel, actually. We weren't watching it, but we were talking about it.
Joshua W.
Because there's nothing else to talk about.
He says if Forest were in the Scottish League, they would finish mid-table door.
Listen to me, right? Listen to me, Joshua. We'll be unbeaten. We'll win every single game. Every game. Shut up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, Mr. Dorr, but I think.
Right, come on.
I don't.
Craig. If Bournemouth, listen to me. If Blackpool's in that league, they'll win the league as well. So even in Notts County, if Notts County was in the league, they'll win it.
What, the Scottish Premier League?
Yeah.
Notts County.
I think you're pushing it now.
I don't think Notts Forest.
They've got the pies as well.
Actually, talking about Notts County, how did they get on? Because they they're in the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah,
It'd be good to see him back in the Football League.
They won,
Sorry, I've just got to stop over there. Hang on, we got a fun fact coming in about Old Darlington FC. Yeah, it's coming. Ian Barron says Bobby Petter, ex Celtic, and Kyle Lafferty, ex Rangers, played for Old Darlington FC.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
There you go. Bobby Petter, yeah.
Got somebody agreeing with Jane here. Sunderland fan. Sirius says he agrees all the players aside for Aidan McGee are rubbish. Thank God they're doing a clear out. But they want Embo back.
Who?
Oh, we all want Embo back.
Who's that?
Just for the song, if nothing else.
Elliot Embleton.
Yes.
Yeah, not County. I think they won 2-1, didn't they? They won 2-1 now. They're playing against Torquay.
Ryan wants a link to come on, but we're coming to an end now. But we'll have to. We don't really want to get into Scotland. We've gone too far into the Scottish debate.
Will there be a war?
There will be a war.
We're meant to be talking about the Championship. How do we get onto Scotland anyway?
I don't know. It's supposed to be the Championship show.
I think it's your fault for raising how do you think Scotland are going to do in the Euro.
I'll tell you what, actually, here's another question about League One, because, of course, Blackpool were in it last season.
Yeah.
I watched the League Two playoff final as well. And to be honest, that was quite interesting because you had Forest Green that was in the playoffs, didn't you? Tranmere was a side that I thought would win them. I thought Tranmere would win them.
But they sacked their manager just before the playoffs, didn't they?
It was crazy,
which was
that.
Random.
I think that was
a disaster. Why would
basically
you do that?
suicide, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
it was. It was the most crazy thing ever. I mean, just made no sense. They said he lost the dressing room, but how the hell do you lose the dressing room just on as you're in the playoffs?
He came out after the interview and criticised the fans and the players and basically said they weren't fighting for it, and they'd been on an awful run. But from when Keith Hill was appointed Tranmere manager, if he had been manager for that from that campaign for that 32 games or whatever it was, they would have finished fourth. So I remember. I only know this because I had a massive argument on Twitter with Tranmere fans about it. So
sorry, we're just laughing here because Ian Barron says that Old Darlington FC won the Scottish Premier League.
Well, it is practically Scotland, isn't it?
Where are Darlington? Where's the new Darlington now? Because they're making their way up the leagues, aren't they?
They are. Well, he'll tell you all about it.
There you are. Go on, you can't answer that question. Where are the new Darlington? Because hopefully, fingers crossed, it would be amazing to see some of these clubs back. That's why I'd like to see Notts County get back.
I want Notts County back. I think with Forest fans, I think they want County back, but it's just Notts County. They like to poke fun of it, saying we're bigger than Forest, but they're not. But I want County back.
Yeah, we just like going to Nottingham, so it's like two options, isn't it? There's two of you.
Ollie, two trips to Hooters. Ollie Charles says Championship is the fourth best league in the world. Would we agree with that?
No.
About the fourth best league.
You've got Serie A, you've got Bundesliga,
you'd have to take those.
You've got Premier League. You'd probably even put the French top division over it.
No, not French league. Not the French league.
I would say six.
PSG, Lille, Nice, Monaco, Marseille. They would all steamroll the Championship.
No, but
even their lower teams will do well in our league.
Yeah, I would say sixth. I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm liking these comments from Tim.
David Scholes.
What's he said?
He's asking if Dor can do a pike somersault. On
the old trampoline.
Right. Do it. If Forest do win the league, I'll do one.
Brilliant.
I'm holding you to that.
Which league? Is that League One in a couple of years?
Although Dor, you won't win the league because we're going to win it.
Lee, I just seen a comment with Jake. He said, "Cut Dor out for the show." The bloke's deluded. Why am I deluded, Jake? Why am I deluded?
Oh, where is it? I can't find it.
Jake? Our Jake?
Oh, Jake, he's saying cut Dor out is deluded.
No, right. Explain. Why am I deluded? Come on, talk to me, Jake.
Well, you just talked about Forest winning the league, so.
Yeah, if Forest, well, they're not going to win the league.
There you are. Ollie Charles says average attendances and viewing figures. It sits fourth in the world.
What's that, the Championship?
Yeah, for viewing figures and wherever it goes. So yeah, yes, there he is. Yeah, cut Dor out of the show. The bloke's deluded.
Jake,
got his opinion.
Enjoy League One without Johnson.
Oh. You leave our Jake alone.
Enjoy.
Adopted son now.
Forest
Jake.
fans always been and always will be. Listen, I'm not biting to it. I'm not biting. He's doing this.
Scott's World of Adventure said that both our bridies and our both smoky and killy pie.
Yes,
are all,
there you go.
We need to try
Good
them in
example.
Scotland. Tim Smith is lots of likes here. Smash the like, absolutely, Tim. It looks like thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
I actually did a little bit of
support.
research into Scottish food a while ago for a blog article, but it never got published. But yeah, I know a lot of Blackpool fans actually went during the boycott went and followed Scottish football. Just went around like ground hopping in Scotland.
We're looking forward to it. We, Ryan Dunbar is is our moderator, supreme, and we're going to go and meet him. He's a Rangers fan, disabled Rangers fan. So we're going to see all those disabled filthies up there, and we're really looking forward to it, aren't we? Going up to Scotland and
we are. I've been up.
We're taking an Old Firm derby.
Been up a few times on pre-season tours with Blackpool. I've been to
it's nice Scotland,
Ayr and Dundee, Partick Thistle. So yeah, it's been very pleasant.
Yeah.
So there was no ladies' toilets at one of the grounds.
Right, Ryan Dunbar.
I had to go to a sports hall, but right behind the other goal because there were no ladies' toilets in the ground.
Well,
hopefully things have changed now.
Yeah, we've won a European Cup as well as Dor.
Right. I have never mentioned about Forest winning the European Cup. I wasn't even born. but we've won it, so that's
right.
Fight! Yes.
How old was you when the last time you won the championship, Dor?
90. How old was it? 16? 98, 97, 98 season. Under Dave Bassett.
How old are you?
16.
No, how old are you now?
I'm old.
I only thought you were about 24, I'm not going to lie.
How old?
Yeah, I think you were about 24, 25.
I'll take that.
I'm 35.
I'm 36. I'm 36.
Ryan Dunbar was going to make the point.
Lee wasn't mentioning
I'm going off it quick. My point was going to be Blackpool had Charlie Adam from Rangers, Bournemouth had Arthur Borwick, is it? Celtic, Preston had Scott Sinclair, Celtic Forest had Scott McKenna from Aberdeen. So you've all had players from Scotland. And you knock it.
It doesn't mean the Scottish League is great. Come on.
He says, don't like it, stop stealing our players. That's what he says.
Oh dear, they're really angry, aren't
they?
They
Jake says, thanks to the bike door, always rely on you to nibble.
Actually, it's one thing about this. Can any Scotland fans tell me if the Snake, as we call him, is in the Scotland team?
The Snake?
Dare we ask?
Scott Fraser.
The Snake.
Is that Scott
Ryan Fraser.
Not Scott
yeah.
Fraser.
Because the story was of course with the COVID, the season being curtailed for COVID, and then after Project Restart, he was out of contract. But he didn't sign the extension because he wanted, or it was rumoured at the time that he was going to go to Arsenal. In the end, he ended up at Newcastle.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of anger from our fans towards Ryan Fraser, or he used to be known as Wee Man, but he's now known as Snake. So, yeah, I hope if he is in the Scotland side, I hope he has a miserable Euros.
Well,
some fighting talk there.
Lee,
maybe he scores an own goal against England.
How long got left?
Well, we've run over time. We're in extra time. We've gone to 4 minutes of injury time. So
I'll finish my drink.
I think we've done about all the comments. Sam Stringer says Bournemouth don't hate anyone. So is that right? You don't have any clubs that you don't like?
Southampton. I think it's a friendly rivalry. It's they miss us. They miss us deep down. They really wanted us to go back up. I've got a mate who's a really good big Southampton fan, and he was desperate, absolutely desperate to see us go back up. The teams that hate Bournemouth, it's quite funny because, of course, originally I'm from Reading. I grew up as a kid supporting Reading, moved down here, and then started following Bournemouth.
Wow.
And Reading and Bournemouth absolutely detest each other.
Oh, interesting.
Wow,
What about Newport, Isle of Wight? They're quite near, aren't they?
Yeah, we've never really played there.
No. Night Hawk is.
I always wanted to draw them in the FA Cup because
Yeah.
it'd be like a cool away day.
Night Hawk is asking why is Jack in the dark and Daughters in the light? Because Jack is in Spain, of course, and we're all very jealous that he's actually in Spain. We all wish we were there as well.
What, wait, can I say something? Jack? Why are you not out on the piss?
Yeah, I was wondering that.
He's probably been out all day.
This.
He's going out. We need a drink after this.
Lee was begging me that much to come on that he wanted an North End fan to up the quality of the stream.
Yeah, but these younger generation these days, they don't go out till 10 o'clock, do they? And they don't go out till 10 o'clock in Spain anyway, do they?
We're getting old. We're getting old when you think this is late. This is like, it hasn't even started yet, has it, Jack? You'll be out till what time you be in about 6 in the morning or something? If you get back
5 or 6, yeah.
Felleraki 2004, I remember we started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I don't know what time it
Sleep
ended.
on the beach.
Yes.
I had a bit of a disaster when I went to Bruges because all the Belgian beers are really strong. I sort of went out about probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was fast asleep, passed out by 6 o'clock in the afternoon. That was like my biggest fail.
I'll tell you what, Dor, is it quite dark where you are?
No.
I was just wondering because it went dark a bit then. I thought maybe you can't, you know, your phone's got a pretty good like night sort of like camera on it, you know, very high ISO. No, because it looks really light, doesn't it? There, but it's got.
Someone's asking if Jack is with Jerry Yates, if he's on the piss. Quite possibly. We're not quite sure where he is.
We don't know where Jerry Yates is. He's just gone on the piss.
We were saying the other day that because all the players have gone over to Portugal, they're all in Albufeira at the moment. But like you said that Jerry probably didn't go with them because they couldn't find him because he's just been on the piss all week. We love him. He's a legend, isn't he?
Yeah, somebody's saying, Grant T says, looking forward to seeing how Poshpool and Tigers do this season. It was pretty intense in League One. That league is like quicksand. Well, yes, you can come back down again. But Jane's confident. She's already explained why.
Oh, yeah.
Jack, what time are the pubs open till in Spain? Because, you know, I went out the other night, although saying that it had to end early because I tripped over a curb and twisted my ankles and ended up in A&E. But everything closed at 11 o'clock. But are they open till the very early hours, are they, even with COVID?
Yeah, I think it's to about 3 a.m. So you still got plenty of time, really, to get on it. And
what's the restrictions like over there with COVID?
You have to wear a mask all outside. Yeah. So even if you're walking like on the beach, you have to wear a mask, which sounds ridiculous because obviously there's like 0.001% chance of catching COVID outside. But apparently the myth says that a Spanish variant, apparently you can catch it outside, but who knows? It's probably a lot of bollocks, but
it stops people like coughing and spluttering and spitting and stuff, which I think is disgusting anyway. So if it stops people doing that, you know, I've been talking to people sort of outdoors, and they stand that close to you when they're talking to you, and you feel like the spit on you, and it's like, oh. So you know, I kind of get it because people do spit on you, don't they?
I suppose they do. Ryan Dumas says, time for a great night.
Usually in Burnley.
Bitey, Lee, and you've been fine, Ryan. Don't worry about it. We knew Scotland were getting a bit of stick, so we knew you'd be biting. It's all right. We only do it to get you biting.
It's just a warm-up. Really.
It's the warm-up for the England-Scotland game coming, but Ryan's not supporting Scotland.
Listen, England's going to beat Scotland 6-0. You hear it first. Scotland on wank.
Well, on that bombshell.
Well, we weren't that good ourselves, to be honest.
No, it was a little bit. You know, I wasn't inspired by our performance against Romania, but it is a warm-up. It's a friendly game. You know, throughout the years we've had these sort of games before tournaments. You think, oh God, it doesn't bode well. But you know, sometimes it's right. Sometimes you know, and I think we've got a good enough squad. But my concern is if we end up facing the French at any point, I think the French are easily the best team in the world.
Can I just say, Ian Barron's got a comprehensive answer on Darlington. So, Craig, you were asking about where Darlington are. So Ian's got a comprehensive answer.
Here we are from Ian Barron. Hi, Craig. I'm a Darlington FC fan. We were made
bankrupt. He's a Darlington fan, you know. Ian.
We were made bankrupt in 2011, reformed in 2012. We've had 3 promotions and are currently fan-owned National League North club. We were demoted 4 leagues. So there you are.
National League North. There's your answer.
Yeah. So there you are. That's it.
It's a nice level.
We'll finish on Darlington because everything has to finish on Darlington. You can't
2 more. Is that 2 more promotions or 3 more promotions outside the Football League?
Well, 1 promotion would get them to the National League, and then 2 would get them into the Football League. Then
they've done amazing. Actually, they've raised what is it? Over 120.
You'll tell us in a minute.
Over £120,000 to help support them. So
no, fingers crossed for them. It was sad what happened to them.
George Harvey 15. Hi, George. He's just coming to the stream. Ian Moon says that Scotland will win the Euro 2020. Greece did it now. It's our turn. It's like Eurovision song.
Right, okay.
So Scotland are going to win the Euros. 128,000. There we go. The fans raise, which is quite an amazing amount of money for fans to raise. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for coming on. Jack, we're going to let you obviously have your night out. And
yeah, it's been great. It's been very nice to have you here, Jack.
Yeah,
you're very welcome to come back.
It's only good old banter. We got to have.
I'll have to think about that again. But...
Never ever. Right, we're going to.
I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. We've enjoyed having you too, and Craig as well. You've been very welcome as well. It's nice to have some new faces.
And it's good to see you guys back in the Championship after what has been a horrible journey down into League 2, and then it's good to see you back.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It has been shit.
We'll probably meet all you guys as well sometime when we're playing and kind of arrange meetups and stuff and do some collabs because that's what YouTube is all about.
And we do this every Monday, but obviously with the Euros now, it's not really going to be happening for the next few weeks.
I don't think what we're going to be doing because there's going to be games to be covering and stuff, so it could be all exciting times. So.
Yeah, just we'll be around, but we're not quite sure.
And it's coming home. It is coming home, folks. Football is coming home.
It's already home. It's already home now.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, a very good point. Very, very good point to finish on. Actually, that because of course, if we play France in the semis or the final, we are at home.
We are.
What advantage is that going to have?
Well, exactly.
It nearly did it in Euro 9.
With all the press and the pundits getting behind us, just like they are at the moment. You know, it would be helpful, wouldn't it, if they were?
I'd like to see us play the Germans. I'd really like to see us play the Germans at this time as well, because let's be fair, we never beat Germany in a knockout competition. And I think,
never say never.
I think this is our chance. I think we can do it.
Definitely got it in our own country, so yeah, we definitely have got a chance. We've just got to get there, haven't we, to the sort of semi-finals, and then who knows? Yeah, who knows? Right, thanks a lot, folks. Thanks to all our guests. Make sure you subscribe to Door on Tour. What's your thing? UTC.
It's UTC IAZ. It'll pop up with AFC Bournemouth fan channel.
Like a disease.
And definitely watch the Harry Redknapp interview, because that one me and Jack actually did alongside Amy Clement.
Right.
And he was so insightful, such a nice bloke. And Jack was quite daring with one of the questions he asked as well about Emily Attack and Jamie Redknapp, weren't you? I didn't know whether or not to add it, but Jack went full throttle straight in with it.
Ballsy.
Exactly, mate. Exactly.
Don't subscribe to Jack. Right, thanks a lot, everyone. We'll see you whenever we see you. We'll see you soon for England. We're doing England, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're doing the England game. We'll be live streaming that, so we'll see you for that. Hope you enjoy the stream. Share it, like it, do all those YouTuber things, and make us take over the world, because we're coming after Thogden. We'll see you later.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. It's been great fun. Bye. Yeah, for those of you that know the crew around here, we're still here. We always do a bit of an Avenger end, and he's gone, hasn't he?
I need to get some straps.
Got rid of him
so
in
it looks
the
like
end.
I'm not naked.
Got rid of the number. Right, anyway. It's been a great show. We really enjoyed it. England are going to win the Euros. We will see you all for England versus... Who are we playing first? We've got Croatia first, haven't we? Yeah. So we'll be here for that. We're going to win it. See you all later, folks. Have a great week. Take care.